Imagine waking up to a second sun rising over the forest. The ground shakes and windows shatter hundreds of miles away. Then, when scientists finally reach the scene years later, they find millions of trees flattened in every direction. But no obvious crater, no meteorite, and no easy answer. On June 30th, 1908, something exploded over the remote region of Siberia near the Tunguska River. The blast was so powerful that it flattened roughly 830 square miles of forest and became the largest impact-related event in recorded history. Today, we call it the Tunguska event. It was early morning in central Siberia, a vast landscape of rivers, marshes, and thick taiga forest. Around 7:15 a.m. local time, witnesses reported seeing a bright fireball streak across the sky. According to one eyewitness, quote, "Suddenly the sky appeared like it was split in two, high above the forest. The whole northern sky appeared to be completely covered with blazing fire. At that moment I felt a great wave of heat, as if my shirt had caught fire. Then there was a loud crash and the man was thrown several feet from his chair." Even though the region was sparsely populated, the blast was powerful enough to send atmospheric waves around the world and disturb sensitive equipment far from Siberia. In the days that followed, unusually bright skies were reported. It's said that the skies above Europe and Asia were glowing, a sign that dust and debris had been kicked up from the blast and sent high into the atmosphere. It wasn't until 1927, almost 2 decades after the explosion, that researchers finally reached the blast zone. What they found was astonishing. Trees flattened outward in a giant radial pattern, as if an invisible hand had pushed the forest down from above. Estimates suggest tens of millions of trees were knocked over across hundreds of square miles in a shape that was akin to a butterfly. The area still bore the scars of the explosion, but here's the part that made Tunguska so mysterious. There was no impact crater, no giant hole in the ground, no asteroid sitting in the center. The only thing they found at ground zero were trees. And despite being directly under the explosion, they were still standing. They had been completely stripped of their branches and scorched, but they hadn't been blown over like the trees for miles around. It was a very strange discovery. For years afterward, that missing crater and the uneven pattern of destruction fueled theories and speculation. So if there was no crater, then what exactly caused the blast? To answer that, scientists had to stop thinking of Tunguska as a ground impact and start thinking of it as something a little bit stranger, an explosion in the sky. The leading explanation today is that Tunguska was caused by an airburst. A space rock, likely an asteroid or possibly a comet fragment, entered the Earth's atmosphere and exploded several miles above the ground. Later studies found tiny particles and chemical traces in the landscape that was consistent with extraterrestrial material, further supporting the theory that it was caused by a space rock of some sort. Instead of striking the surface, the Tunguska object broke apart in the atmosphere. The energy release created an immense blast wave and intense heat, enough to flatten and scorch the forest without leaving a classic crater behind. Scientists estimate that the object may have been anywhere from 150 to 300 feet across and probably exploded somewhere around 6 miles above the surface. Its energy was equivalent to about 15 megatons of TNT. That's about 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. That explains how an object that never touched the ground was still powerful enough to flatten a forest. One reason that Tunguska became so legendary is that the world didn't get answers quickly. The blast happened in one of the most remote regions on Earth, and the first major scientific expedition didn't arrive until 1927. By then, the trail had gone cold. There was no crater, very little recoverable material, and only scattered eyewitness accounts to piece together what had happened. The years left room for speculation. For decades, Tunguska became a magnet for all kinds of strange theories. But over time, the evidence kept pointing back to the same conclusion: a completely natural cosmic airburst, albeit an extremely powerful one. Tunguska is more than just a fascinating story, it's a warning. Objects from space enter Earth's atmosphere all the time, and most of them are tiny and harmless. But Tunguska showed that a mid-sized object can cause regional devastation. That's one of the reasons that planetary defense matters. Events like Tunguska are estimated to happen every few hundred years, and if an airburst like this occurred over a city, the devastation would be unfathomable. That's why modern asteroid surveys, impact modeling, and missions designed to test asteroid deflections are so important. It's all in an effort to understand and reduce the risk of these near-Earth objects. So what exactly happened at Tunguska? The best evidence points to a cosmic visitor that never made it to the ground, a space rock that exploded in the sky with enough force to erase a forest. And now, more than a century later, Tunguska remains both a fascinating story and a case study in planetary defense. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye bye.